I want you to imagine you're driving home. Everything feels totally normal, and then your engine just stops. Not a sputter, not a warning, just gone. That doesn't actually happen out of nowhere. Your engine had been sending you signals for weeks, maybe months, through sounds and smells and little behaviors you probably wrote off as nothing. There are 14 of those signals, and they follow a very specific pattern from early warning shots all the way to a fatal blow. And once you know what they mean, you can't unsee them. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1, engine knocking or ticking sounds. That deep, rhythmic knocking from under the hood isn't a loose heat shield or road debris caught somewhere. It's rod bearings that have lost their oil film, hammering directly against the crankshaft on every single rotation. Rod bearings are supposed to float on a pressurized oil film about 0.03 of an inch thick. And when that film collapses from low oil pressure or worn bearing surfaces, the metal-to-metal contact generates heat fast enough to weld the rod to the crank. That's what mechanics mean when an engine threw a rod. Number 2, excessive exhaust smoke. Blue, white, or black. The color of your exhaust smoke is as specific as a lab result. Blue means oil is burning inside the cylinder, getting past worn piston rings or valve stem seals, and it sounds manageable until you realize that burning oil coats the spark plugs, the injectors, and the catalytic converter with carbon deposits. So one worn seal starts destroying components that were completely fine originally. White smoke that sticks around after the engine warms up means coolant is breaching the combustion chamber, usually through a blown head gasket, and coolant doesn't compress like an air-fuel mix does. So something physical gives way, typically a connecting rod. Number 3, sudden loss of power. While driving, sudden power loss while you're already moving is disorienting in a specific way because the engine's still running, but the car slows down like something invisible grabbed it. The most common internal cause is a timing chain that's stretched or skipped a tooth, throwing the camshaft and crankshaft out of sync. When that synchronization breaks even slightly, the valves open at the wrong moment, combustion efficiency collapses, and the engine can't produce usable power even though it's technically still running. A failing fuel pump creates a nearly identical symptom, where the car feels fine at low speeds and then falls completely flat the moment you need acceleration. Number 4, engine stalling at idle or low speeds. Stalling at a red light feels like an embarrassment, but it's actually the engine telling you it can't sustain combustion without load, and airflow helping it along. Idle speed runs on a very small amount of fuel and air, and the tolerances are tight. Carbon buildup on the throttle body, the thickness of a credit card, can drop airflow enough to kill the flame completely, and that carbon came from the oil vapor recirculation system that's supposed to keep things clean. Number 5, oil consumption, increasing rapidly. If you're topping off a quart every 1,000 miles and there's no puddle under the car and no smoke you can actually see, the oil is burning inside the engine and the exhaust is carrying away the evidence in quantities too small to notice. Piston rings wipe the cylinder wall clean on every downstroke, and when they wear or stick from carbon buildup, they stop doing that job. So a thin oil film gets left behind, burns with the fuel charge, and deposits carbon on the piston crown, which makes the ring wear faster because now it's dragging over a rough surface. Number 6, metal shavings found in engine oil. Metallic particles in your oil aren't a minor finding. They're physical evidence that internal components are grinding each other down right now, and the type of particle tells you exactly where. Fine. Glittery silver dust is aluminum from piston skirts or bearing surfaces. And once those particles suspend in the oil, they start attacking every other bearing surface the oil touches. So the wear spreads. Larger, irregular flakes mean spalling, where chunks of hardened metal break away from cam lobes or lifters that have lost their surface hardening, and the debris load after that accelerates everything exponentially. Number 7, overheating, even on short drives. A temperature gauge climbing into the red on a 5-minute drive isn't a thermostat problem. It means the cooling system has already failed badly enough that it can't handle even a cold engine warming up normally. The cooling system pulls heat from the combustion chamber walls, moves it through the coolant, and dumps it through the radiator. When a water pump impeller corrodes and loses its vanes, coolant flow drops, and the heat the engine generates starts outpacing what the coolant can carry away. Cooling system specialists find that even 30% impeller erosion causes overheating under moderate load, and you can't see that erosion without pulling the pump. Number 8, check engine light that won't go away. Most drivers see that light come on and mentally file it under probably the gas cap, and just leave it there for months. The light itself doesn't know what's serious. It just knows a sensor reading fell outside the acceptable range. But a misfire code means one cylinder isn't completing combustion, and if a failing injector is causing it, raw fuel is hitting the catalytic converter on every cycle and can destroy it completely within a few hundred miles. Reading the fault codes takes 2 minutes and costs nothing at most auto parts stores, so there's no real reason to stay blind. Number 9, rough idling or engine vibrations. An engine shaking at idle isn't loose mounts or an unbalanced wheel. It's unequal power pulses from individual cylinders, and the mounts can only absorb so much of that before you feel it through the seat and steering wheel. A 4-cylinder fires every 180 degrees of crankshaft rotation, so the power delivery is supposed to space out evenly and cancel itself into smooth running. When one cylinder produces less power because of a fouled plug or low compression, the crankshaft actually slows down slightly on that stroke, then speeds back up on the next good cylinder, and that variation is exactly what you're feeling. Number 10, burning oil or fuel smell from engine bay. A burning smell from the engine bay is chemical evidence, and the specific character of it tells you exactly which fluid is contacting something hot. Burning oil means oil is dripping onto the exhaust manifold, which runs between 700 and 1000 degrees Fahrenheit. At those temperatures, oil doesn't burn cleanly. It partially combusts and leaves carbonized residue that builds up and can eventually sustain an actual fire. So a burning oil smell that's been around for weeks isn't just annoying. A sweet, syrupy smell means coolant. And if you're catching it inside the cabin, the heater core is leaking and depositing glycol residue on the blower components. Number 11, low compression in one or more cylinders. Compression is what actually makes an engine run. The piston squeezes the air-fuel mixture to a very high ratio before the spark plug fires. And if one cylinder can't reach that pressure because its rings are worn or a valve isn't sealing, that cylinder just drags along consuming fuel without contributing any power. A leak-down test tells you exactly where the pressure is going because you can hear it. Air escaping into the crankcase means the rings. Air bubbling into the coolant overflow means the head gasket. Air hissing back through the intake means the intake valve. 3 different sounds. 3 completely different repair bills. Number 12, frequent misfires or hesitation. A misfire isn't just a rough idle. It's the ECU catching a crankshaft speed drop because one cylinder failed to deliver its power stroke, and it's sensitive enough to count exactly how many times per 1,000 revolutions a specific cylinder misses. The damage runs 2 directions at once. Unburned fuel pushed into the exhaust hits the catalytic converter hot enough to melt the ceramic substrate inside it. And that same unburned fuel washes down the cylinder wall and strips the oil film off the rings on every single misfire event. Number 13, coolant disappearing with no visible leak. Coolant disappearing with no puddle under the car and no white smoke from the exhaust means it's going somewhere internal, and the engine is burning the evidence on every combustion cycle. The most common path is a head gasket breach small enough to let coolant seep into the cylinder between firing events, but not big enough to produce visible smoke. That coolant burns off as steam, but it leaves silicate scale on the spark plug and pulls heat away from the power stroke in the process. A cracked cylinder head does the same thing, and if the crack runs between a coolant passage and an oil gallery instead, coolant mixes into the oil and destroys its ability to maintain the film on the bearings. Number 14, hard starts or engine struggling to turn over. If the battery and starter test fine but the engine still cranks slowly or needs 3 attempts to catch, the problem is internal, meaning the engine can't reliably create the conditions for combustion anymore. Cold hard starting points directly at compression loss. Worn rings and cylinders lose a bigger percentage of compression when cold, because the metal clearances are slightly wider. The oil is thick and slow to pressurize the rings, and fuel needs higher compression to vaporize properly in a cold cylinder. An engine that starts fine when warm but fights you every cold morning is showing you its compression is barely adequate. Every one of those 14 signs sits earlier in the failure chain than the disaster it leads to. The knock comes before the spun bearing. The invisible coolant loss comes before a hydro-locked cylinder. The oil consumption comes before the scored cylinder wall. Catching any of them while they're still warning signs versus actual failures is the difference between a few $100s and an engine replacement.